Yo guys, what's up, Ghost here. So I'm sure you're all familiar with the latest Battlefield 2042 news. The game, of course, has unfortunately been delayed and will now instead be releasing on the 19th of November for everybody. So yes, for those of you wondering, if you pre-purchased the game, you will still gain access to the game a full week early on the 12th of November, as confirmed by Mr. Freeman. So I know it's a bit of a letdown for everybody involved, especially if you've booked time off work just to play, but I definitely think it's the right thing for the game, and it would appear that most of the community agree on that, which is really good to see. As for what actually caused the delay, I would bet my bottom dollar that it had something to do with the feedback they got from the technical alpha test. A lot of the developers have of course commented on the delay, thanking the community for their patience and support and stressing that this is definitely the best thing for the game as a whole, but some of them have given us a little more insight as to what is actually being worked on. Jim Hagel, who works for EA, says that right now it's tweaking terrain tessellation for max performance without sacrificing anything visually. Now, I don't know if you guys looked at any of the leaked footage, but one of the new changes to the engine that I picked up on was the terrain deformation. So say you're driving a tank over some mud or grass, the way the earth shapes itself based on where you drove over it, that looked really impressive in the alpha test, even if a lot of the other areas looked a bit sort of unfinished. So I wonder if that is the terrain tessellation that Jim is referring to, and if it could be negatively impacting systems, causing the game to use too many resources. For anyone who plays on PC, you'll know that Battlefield games really hit your system hard, especially the CPU. In addition to that, Niels Sterlinger, gameplay engineer at DICE, commented saying a lot can be done in 4 weeks when you're in the bug fixing phase of a project. Feature work introduces bugs, requiring testing and balancing and possibly more iterations. Bugs can be fixed quite rapidly as they usually don't introduce more work. So again, this would suggest that what they're working on is the overall performance of the game, rather than large features and balance, for example. So the game has been delayed, but what about the beta exactly? Well, in the original message about the delay that I posted on my YouTube a couple of days ago, all they told us is that the updates on the open beta will be coming later this month. So that doesn't directly say that it's been delayed, but it's definitely worded that way. I'm certain that by update, they're going to tell us the new date when we can expect the beta rather than just dropping it in our laps. I've seen a lot of people say, why not just give us the beta now, warts and all, and that way they'll have a longer period of time to act on player feedback. Well, I think these days, the reason most people play a beta is essentially to test out the game. I mean, be honest, how many of you guys out there watching this video right now actually play a beta and then hop onto the testing forums to give structured feedback on what you liked, didn't like, bugs you encountered, etc. I'm going to be honest, I've never done that. I jump into an open beta test because I want to test out the game, see how it runs on my system, and what kind of an FPS I can expect. And one can't help but make assumptions about the game based off of that beta test. So if DICE released that to us now in a broken state, that could negatively affect their sales. Now, if I had to guess, I would say the new beta date will be somewhere in the first half of October, hopefully the first week, near enough the time frame we all expected for the original beta set this month. That way it'll give DICE a bit more time to prepare things for the test, but they'd also get even more time between the end of the test and the final release to work on tweaks based on our feedback. Now, whilst I don't dispute the decision to delay the game in favour of improving it, and I'm sure the devs are doing their very best, I do think that EA's communication could use a lot of work. During the past few weeks, EA have been pretty tone deaf, and they've done a rather terrible job of reading the room. A lot of people have commented on the fact that the game was supposed to be, quote, way ahead of schedule. We got new teases and information about it almost daily, and then all of a sudden, right before Gamescom, they turned off the taps, everything dried up, and communication ground to a halt. I think right then, when Battlefield didn't show at Gamescom, we all started to get the feeling like there were problems, and I think DICE and EA knew it too, but instead of giving us a heads up there and then, we were all kept in the dark whilst they maintained total radio silence outside of a couple of scripted gameplay snippets from some already announced specialists. Actually, they did say one thing. The official Battlefield account tweeted out this rather childish meme that really didn't go down very well with people, and considering the delay we've just learnt about, has aged even worse. I honestly thought they'd learnt their lesson after the whole June boom soon thing, but I guess not. It would appear they are still as tone deaf as ever. Overall though, I think the biggest letdown is just the fact that over the past few weeks, everybody's hype for the game and anticipation has started to wane and deteriorate just a little bit. I can almost feel it in the air. I don't know about you guys, but for me, I feel a little less excited about the game with each passing week of silence from DICE and EA. I'm not asking them to give us a massive reveal every week or anything like that, but maybe just touch bases with us once in a while. Let us know what you're working on. Maybe share some screenshots of works in progress, a little gameplay clip here and there. Maybe ask for the community's opinions on certain aspects of the game. Just include us in the process a little bit. I felt like DICE did such a great job with that in the BF4 days with the CTE initiative, and more than ever, I want that DICE to return. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely support DICE and their work on this game. I'm sure that this delay was made with our interests in mind, and it is the best thing for the game, and I'm sure that Battlefield 2042 is, going to be an absolute banger eventually. But they do need to address their communication. Okay, that all got a little bit ranty towards the end there, so let's end on something positive, shall we? If you own Battlefield 4 on Origin PC, you can currently snag yourself a copy of the Naval Strike DLC absolutely free, and it's the best DLC in my opinion, so make sure that you get it. You can also get a copy of the Battlefield 1 DLC Turning Tides for free as well, so if that's your thing, I suggest you go and get it while it's hot. I will leave you guys a link down in the description where you can grab that. That is going to do it for this one, guys. Let me know what you think about this whole thing down below. Leaving a like is a big help for the channel, so I would appreciate that if you would be so kind. And if you want to be part of the community, you can of course subscribe. We also have a Discord channel where we discuss Battlefield leaks and all kinds of things like that I can't really post here on the channel. And of course, if you want to catch me live for some Battlefield 4, you can check out my Twitch at the link in the description. Stay safe, guys, have a good one, and I will see you in the next video.